He's going to be fun. You give me fun.
Hi, I'm Matt Patterson with the Oklahoman, and I'm joined by the Oklahoma City Animal Welfare Department Superintendent Julie Bank, and also Pete, an 8-week-old tabby, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, a little tabby mix. He is about 8 weeks old. He actually was part of a litter that came in without any moms. So this is the time of the year where we get so many babies without moms, or even moms with babies. Spay neuter, spay neuter, spay neuter can help that. But when they do come in, he was placed in foster care, and his siblings got adopted, and now he's looking for a forever home. And he's got the biggest belly. Look at him.
And he's already got his tattoo, it looks like.
That means he was neutered by us, so
Uh-huh.
he's not going to be part of any kind of reproduction system, which is a good thing. But he purrs, and he's like a little motor going on here, meows a bunch, and does need somebody to just be his mom.
And last week was Be Kind to Animals Week,
Yes.
and we're going to kind of talk a little bit about some of those things today. Talk a little bit about just what that means to be kind to animals.
Well, you know, being kind to animals is an intrinsic thing that humans need to do. It's something, these animals share our world and they share our environment, and we have a responsibility to take care of them and do the right thing by them, and that means to be kind by them. So there are so many different things that people can do to consider kindness. Obviously, adopting an animal, if you're thinking of getting a pet, consider adopting one instead of purchasing one, because there's so many homeless animals that need you to take care of them. Take care of the animals that you have at home. So that is, you know, pat your dog on the head, take them for a walk, give your cat a scratch on the ears, whatever you can do to let them know that they're part of your family, that you understand that they need you and that you're going to provide for them. And, you know, things like taking your animal out for a walk or exercising them, or even remembering during Be Kind to Animals Week to take your animals to the veterinarian, because they do need vaccines on a regular basis, and they need to be looked at to make sure that they're healthy. Always make sure that they have a tag on their neck to make sure that if they get lost, they can get returned back home. All the things to be responsible pet owners, you could do that. But there's so many other ways that you can be kind, right? If you see a stray animal in the street, call Oklahoma City Animal Welfare so that we can get them back home to you. If you see a neighbor that's being cruel or unkind to an animal, call us so we can do an animal cruelty investigation. You can even go as far to proactively help by becoming a volunteer or donating money to help for the cause. You could be a Kids for OKC Animals, which is a program that we have for kids under the age of 18 to make a difference. So just kind of do something really great for animals and make a difference.
And there are some laws also associated with just basic pet ownership, like fences if you have a dog, things like that. Talk a little bit about just some of our laws.
So the ordinances are in Section 8 of the City Code, and they all focus on things that you as a pet owner need to know if you're going to have a pet in Oklahoma City. So we already talked about tags. Most people don't realize that it is the law that you have to have a rabies tag on your animal's neck at all times. So you can't just have it on the leash hanging up when you take them outside. They have to be on their neck even inside the house. So, and that shows that if an animal bites somebody, that we know that the animal indeed has had their rabies tag. You have to be in control and custody of your animal at all time. That means when you're walking down the street, your animal has to be on a leash, or if they are in your backyard, they have to be in a fence that doesn't have any holes or any ability to get out of that. And if you're in violation of that, you can actually get a ticket and go to court for being a violation of those particular laws. You have to make sure that your animal is always in good condition. So they have to have their vaccine, they have to not have any kind of visible illness that you're not addressing and taking care of. You have to feed them and water them, they have to have shade. At this time of the year, we get a lot of calls about animals in cars, locked in cars. And while there's nothing against the law that says that you can't allow an animal to be left in a car, if it's too hot or too cold, you can actually get a violation. It could be considered an animal cruelty violation. So there are a lot of different things that you need to consider, and it's not only just your dogs and cats. It's also your livestock and any other animal that you have. You have to make sure that they always have food, water, and away from the bad elements.
And you know, fences, that seems like a real common way people lose their pets is through inadequate fencing. Is that something you guys see a lot?
Yeah, the two biggest issues that we have, and we still have people who just open up their door and let their animals run loose and say, well, they always come back. And unfortunately, they don't always come back. And a lot of times they chase other animals, or they bite people, or we have some real serious animal control problems when you just allow your animal to run loose. So no, you can't do that. And the second thing is, like you just said, the fence. If you have a hole in the fence that they can dig out from under or jump over, they're not high enough, then your animal can get loose. And if your animal bites somebody, then a aggressive, dangerous situation could occur, and you could also end up in court that way as well.
And this time of year, you did mention you guys fill up quickly. Spaying and neutering, just a basic, and that's obviously every animal you guys adopt is going to have that before it leaves the building.
Absolutely. Any animal that gets adopted from us is already neutered. He was actually neutered, and you can't really see it, but he has a little tattoo on his belly that actually indicates that he was neutered by our veterinarians. But we also, and while it's not the law that says you have to sterilize your animal, it is probably the kindest thing that you can do for your particular animal, not only so that they don't produce part of the overpopulation problem, but it's much healthier for your pet to be spayed or neutered. In male animals, it actually keeps them home. This time of the year when females are in heat, male animals are jumping fences to try to get to them. And if you neuter them, it takes away some of that anxiety that they have when there's a female animal around. It also prevents things like testosterone. It takes away some of their testosterone, which is actually a good thing for their behavior. If you have an aggressive animal, it might make them a little calmer in the way they behave. And medically, both females and males, it prevents multiple forms of cancer in your animal. And it's just a much healthier lifestyle for your pet. And it also does your job of helping to control overpopulation.
Which in turn makes your job a little bit easier.
Absolutely. I mean, our goal is to not have any animals come into our building. And while we are definitely seeing a decrease in the amount of animals that are coming in year after year, we are still dealing with 24,000 animals coming through our door, which is absolutely a ridiculous number for the population that we have here in Oklahoma City. We need to be decreasing the amount of animals. We need public to help us decrease those animals. And the best way that you can do that is by spaying and neutering your pet. And Oklahoma City Animal Welfare has a free spay neuter program for any resident of Oklahoma City to get your animals sterilized, so there is never a reason to not do it.
What else do you have going on at the shelter? There's some things coming up.
This month has been a wild month for us. We have quite a few outreach events coming up in different places. This weekend is actually PetSmart's big national adoption weekend. We're going to be at 63rd and May PetSmart. We're going to be at a couple of other locations that you can actually join our Facebook and Twitter pages and learn about all the different locations. Just last week, we started a new workshop called Your New Dog Workshop, in the hope that we can help people by giving them information about what to expect if you're getting a pet, or about what to do if you have a new pet that has any kind of challenges. You can come to those workshops. We had a great first workshop this past Saturday, but we're going to hold them the first Saturday of every month at the animal shelter. We have opportunities for individuals to become volunteers as well, and we also have a couple of opportunities for people to help fundraise for us. And you know, I want to make sure that I let everybody know that while we are a city entity, you can provide a donation to help for, look at him, he's sleeping. Donation to help for these guys, because we can't do it without you. So we really need your time, and we really need your treasure in the form of a donation. And you can actually donate at okc.gov/animal welfare, or we have a nonprofit attached to us called Patrons of Oklahoma City Animal Shelter, and the money to them goes directly to us as well. Yeah.
Julie Bank with the Oklahoma City Animal Welfare Department. And Pete, thanks for coming in today. We appreciate it.
Hey, if there's anybody interested in adopting Pete, they just could come down to the shelter at 2811 Southeast 29th Street in Oklahoma City. And again, our website is okc.gov/animal welfare. If you want to see pictures of other animals that we have available for adoption, please provide this little guy a great home, because he is a sweetie.
He certainly is. Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.